In this video we show how you can now define client-side dynamic images in a list control. So previously the list control allowed dynamic images, but the calculation was a server-side calculation. So you can see if we go back to the builder now that in this list control we've got a dynamic image defined over here, and we've chosen client-side. So because we've chosen client-side, the expressions need to be entered using JavaScript syntax, which means that you can see here that we've used a double equal sign for the equality test. If I just used a single equal sign, all that I would be doing was actually assigning the value of Massachusetts to data.state, and that's not what I want to do. So the double equal sign is used for an equality test, and single quotes are used for strings, so you can just get more information if you just click on the little help field there. And you can see that what I've done in this particular case here, I've said that if the state is Massachusetts, then I want to use the CSS icon. If the state is California, I want to use a different CSS icon, and then if the state is New York, I want to use one of Alpha's built-in images. So this is a built-in image. So I'm combining both CSS icons and also bitmap images in this particular test over here. So let's go ahead now and run this, and when we run it we can see that for Massachusetts we get the CSS icon, for California we get the CSS icon, but for New York we get the built-in bitmap icon. And if I go and dynamically edit this, let's go and change New York here to say MA, and then hit save, and we can see that the icon changes now to the CSS icon. And then we go here to say Colorado. There was no image defined for this test case, so there was no rule defined for this test case, so there's no image there. But if I go there and change that to Massachusetts and hit save, you can see that we get the image. So in the next video, what I'm going to just demonstrate is how, instead of using the dynamic image feature as I did over here, I could also do the same thing by using client-side computed fields, which in effect gives you a little bit more flexibility, because you can instead of only displaying images, you can display text or images. So for example, in the case of Colorado, which had no defined image, we could have put some text there that said not defined. So we'll show that in the next video. In this video we're going to show how dynamic images can be implemented using client-side computed columns rather than the built-in dynamic image feature. And the benefit of the computed columns approach is that you can see here that for certain of the rows for which the dynamic image was not defined, we can display some text in place of the image. So let's go back now and take a look at how this was defined. So you can see here, when we go into the list builder, we've not defined a dynamic image column. Instead, what we've done is we've gone to the list properties and gone to computed columns, and then we've defined a computed column here that basically returns the icon that we want to display. So if the data.state is Massachusetts, we want to display this CSS icon. If the state is California, we want to use display that icon. If it's New York, we want to display this icon here, which is a built-in bitmap, whereas these two here are obviously CSS icons. And if none of the conditions are met, then we want to just return some text that says not defined. And the interesting thing about this particular function here is that it uses this built-in utility function in the Alpha Anywhere JavaScript library that makes it easy to deal with both CSS icons and also bitmap icons. And the reason that it's somewhat tricky to deal with the two different icon types is that the HTML markup for a CSS icon is an I tag, angle bracket I, whereas the HTML markup for a bitmap image is obviously just the standard image tag. So this function here will return either the correct markup. It'll return angle bracket I for CSS icon and angle bracket image for a regular bitmap icon. So let's go here now and test it out again. Switch over to working preview, and I can see that, for example, if I go to this, which is currently not defined, and change it to MA and then hit save, you can see that the icon updates. And if I go there and change that to that, which is going to come up as not defined. So using client-side computed fields, I have a little bit more flexibility than using the built-in dynamic image feature. Thanks very much for watching.